Yahweh, by Hashem, Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Ecclesiasticus 10:2. I'm gonna start at 1:10:1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. In the hand of Yahweh is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. And I use that scripture to allude to this, and I just found this out. Let's see here. Let's just watch this little TikTok here, and you can see. Just listen all the way through. Hang on, this guy.
So California has just made it legal for minors to travel there to get gender surgery without parent consent. So anyone under the age of 18, if they are able to find a way to California, they will be allowed to receive gender transition surgery without their parents ever knowing. Do you know how dangerous this is for multiple reasons? One, you really gonna have kids running away trying to get to California to do this. A caring parent should know that their child is undergoing life-changing surgery. To take away the rights for a parent to make sure their child is okay is outrageous. It seems like California is just passing laws without actually thinking, bro. TikTok, this video is not to disrespect anyone. I am just speaking on California laws and giving my opinion on it.
This video is not to disrespect anyone. And the scripture talks about, trimming our ways to seek and love, and will you teach the wicked one your ways. See, Jake had to just put that in there to be politically correct. I'm not attacking anyone. It's fine if you want to do that, but it's wrong. Parents should you should be allowed to change your sex, but parents should know. It's basically what he's saying. This place is wicked, man. You can tell it. This place has a perverse spirit. I mean, this guy out here looking like Bonnet Betty. He got a bonnet on his head, with his little dirty dreadlocks. Man, I hate Jake. It says California Senate Bill 107 means your child can now be taken from your custody if you do not affirm gender reassignment surgery. New California law provides legal protection for parents fleeing states that have banned gender affirming healthcare for youths. Basically, there was a post shared by the American Council with a screenshot of a tweet by the group's founder, Tanner Bella. The American Council describes itself as an organization dedicated to increasing voter turnout among Christian evangelicals. The post was flagged as part of Facebook's effort to combat false news and misinformation on its new feed. Bella told PolitiFact the California Legislative Council summary of the law backs up his reasoning. He pointed specifically to a passage of the summary at the top of Bill's text that reads, the bill would authorize a court to take temporary jurisdiction because a child has been unable to obtain gender-affirming healthcare. But experts we spoke to said that doesn't mean the state would take custody of the child. It clarifies that California courts would assume jurisdiction of the legal matter. And that's potato. It talks about, the scriptures talk about no man knowing the way of a man is made him, And it really is none of the government's business to poke their nose in familial affairs. It has nothing to do with the government. They're overextending, their authority in doing things like stopping fathers from seeing their children, the whole marriage laws. You're married to your wife and you're both married to the government. They get involved with things that has nothing to do with them. These people are just basically abusing their power. We all know Esau is a filthy man. Now, to to this law, you know, there's a scripture. Let me get the scripture real quick. Now, the scriptures talk about, you know, you're not meant to put on things pertaining onto women as men, and women are not to put things pertaining onto men. You know, in this society, you have women wearing pants and stuff like that, and men wearing skirts. It's just off. You know, you see a lot of Eves. They love these jeans and stuff like that. They're not even meant to wear stuff like that. You know, that's garments of men, really and truly. You know, they're meant to wear skirts and be ladylike, but this society has a way of just turning everything upside down. Deuteronomy 23:1, he that is wounded in the stones or have his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. So all these little transgenders and all these little people chopping off their bits, they're literally marking themselves. You know, it's just completely against what the scriptures set out for men to behave like. And it says the California governor signs a bill offering legal refuge to transgender youths. We believe that no one should be prosecuted or persecuted for getting the care they need, including gender affirming care. Governor Gavin Newsom said. This is completely wicked, man. He signed a bill Thursday that aims to legally protect transgender youths and their parents if they flee conservative states that have restricted access to gender affirming care. And he talks up raising up your child in the way that, you know, in the way that he may go. Let's get that scripture quick. Because that's not raising your children. You know, you telling them it's okay to, you know, get gender reaffirming surgery. These government, they're raising little demons. Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it. So if you train up these children to be complete reprobates, you're going to have a society of reprobates, which is what we have right now. You know, you got women who don't want to be women, they don't want to be keepers at home. You have men that don't want to work. You know, I see people smoking. I've actually known people who smoke weed around their children and see nothing wrong with it, because if you did see something wrong with it, you wouldn't smoke around your children. You know, I've heard people say, "Do as I say and not as I do." So this whole society raises hypocritical people. You know, these people are demons, and they know they're demons, but because they have demons on them, they can't even they can't even acknowledge they've done something wrong. They can't even apologize when they do something wrong. This is completely wicked. Deuteronomy chapter 25, if there be a controversy between men and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and be beaten before his face according to his fault by a certain number. And the scriptures talk about how, you know, bearing false witness against people. This is Exodus 20:16. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And bearing false witness is basically going to court and lying and accusing people of things that they haven't done. You know, because a lot of people like to use that to gain a legal advantage. You know, you can, you know, women like to accuse men of rape, even though they may not have done it. So this is the kind of society that Esau raises up, because Esau is really a reprobate man. So the society that he creates and he rules over are full of reprobate people who do reprobate things. 17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar. That's going on onto something else. You know, about Moses coming down from the mountain, I believe. But yeah, pretty much this society is completely wicked. You know, this this society isn't well ordered. And Esau is not a profitable man. So the Lord really needs to come and save us from this man, because he's he's power unchecked. He's just abusing his authority. I mean, he should no one should have a right to come into your home and dictate to you how you raise your children. As a man, the government shouldn't be able to come into your home and take your child, or allow women to have a higher right to your children than you. And what's really weird is, in this society, back in the day, you knew if you had a child it was yours, because based on the scriptures, you were the only person who was with her. You were with her first, and you're supposed to be the only person she's been with. But in this society, these women sleep with different men. But even that, I mean, you can get a DNA test, and even if it proved that you was the father, you have no rights to your own children in this society. And you can watch all those, MGTOW and red pill contents. Men are getting raked over the coals and divorce court. Women are using their children against them, because this man's laws, are wicked and they're perverse. Because he's a perverse man, and he does this on purpose to destroy the family unit. And he primarily targets these laws at Jake, but his own people have been caught in the crosshairs. They're like collateral damage, because what he really wants to do is destroy Israel. But he does it to his own people. These ruling elites, it's like they want to monopolize their power, and they know there's power in family. There's power in unity. And if you can destroy a family, you can destroy a community, and you can destroy a nation. So no one else will be able to get together and have any level where they can have any upward economic mobility to even rival these people. So they're just power unchecked, and they stop other people from elevating themselves with these laws that he creates. Deuteronomy 25:13, thou shalt not have in thy bag diverse weights, a great and a small. A false weight is an abomination to the Lord. Thou shalt not have in thine house diverse measures, a great and small, but thou shalt have a perfect and just. Thou shalt not have in thy bag diverse weights, a great and a small. Thou shalt not have in thine house diverse measures, a great and a small, but thou shalt have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure shall thy have, that thy days be lengthened in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee. For all that do such things, and all that do unrighteously, an abomination unto the Lord thy power. So Esau is an abomination to the Lord, and the elder Ramlav always goes into, regardless of how much we hate this man's society and the things that he does, the Lord ultimately hates him more than any of us could, because it's like it's like something, when you get smoke in your nostrils, it's offensive to even look at this man. I'm not righteous by any means, and even I can look at this man and think he's an abomination. So how much more the Lord, who's perfect? He looks at this man like he's a piece of crap, and you know that by everything he's done to him. Your man's name is wasted away. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This place is just completely abominable, and a lot of people have this idea, and the scriptures go into people thinking that their houses shall go on forever. I spoke to somebody and I was like, yo, this place is done, and they said they were saying this in the 70s and the 80s, that the world is over. And people don't contemplate or think about the fact that every single society falls, every single one. Israel fell, Rome fell, Greece fell, Mesopotamia fell, but somehow in these people's minds they feel like this society is going to go on forever. And it talks about how if the Lord didn't come back, no flesh will be saved, because everybody's going to be a reprobate. I read something by 2050, the average man is not going to have enough testosterone to have an erection. So, this man's society, if allowed to carry on, would literally come to the point where people wouldn't even they'd have to artificially breed themselves. Eventually, it'd just lead to destruction. So we need the Lord to come back, because These people are stupid as hell, and they're gonna go with whatever Esau says is fine. All praises to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of James who rule well. Shalom to the elect.